Spartans and Families. This is Mrs. Kirby. If you haven't met me virtually or in person, I will be one of the coordinators for Arcade's eighth grade trip to Washington, D.C. and New York. And I've been working closely with our travel agent at World Strides, Michelle, to tie up all of the questions and loose ends and things that have been going around. So the first question that I wanted to address was the discounts that some of you earned because of your military service, or whether you received a discount for early registration. All discounts have been applied to your account as of December 2022. So please go ahead and check that out. Make sure you see that right, 100% off, sorry, $100 off. And that should be one of the line items in your account. The second item, which is the big question, is what schools can we travel with? Because we all know Arcade is a small school, which is one of the reasons many of us chose Arcade, because we are a tight-knit community of 410 students. So the schools that we could travel with are Pasteur, Churchill, and Barrett. And so those were our options as Arcade Middle School making this big trip. So Pasteur, they were full. So we, as of the state, we couldn't travel with them because their trip and their buses are completely full. Churchill, they chose different items than we did, and they're out of our price point, at least for me. I don't feel comfortable asking this kind of a jump in price. Their trip is just really expensive and it's cost prohibitive for my program that I'm running at Arcade. And then lastly was Barrett. So Barrett's the one we've been talking about via email, and I got some feedback from you. Overwhelmingly, the families going on our trip are fine with going to New York for 3 days and the DC for 2 days. There was definitely some disappointment about the Philadelphia not being a part of it. And I understand that. It was a minority. So just so you guys know, and I know one of the questions was, well, is this a majority rules? Well, no, it wasn't a majority rule situation. I just want to know how you guys are all feeling and thinking about this change in our schedule. So just so you know, I tried every single thing that I could within my power to get us the itinerary that we had initially agreed on. Because we're a smaller school, we don't have the 35 people to get our own bus. We do have to buddy up with another school. We have 26 amazing people coming on our trip, and we are going to be going with Barrett. So we are going to have 3 days in New York. We're going to have 2 days in DC, and it's not going to be $65 or $67 more. It's actually just going to be $25. So I've been working with Michelle about what are we going to be doing? What are the costs? Really line iteming everything. And it's going to be $25 more for each of our families. Now, so that means our trip's going to be June 8th through 13th. So it's a 1 day earlier. We'd initially talked about leaving June 9th. And the change in cost is $25 more. And when I did get feedback, that wasn't a concern for most of our families. That didn't seem to be a prohibitive factor. I also do know that this is a big trip, and I think it's worth it. I believe it's worth it, and you wouldn't be sending your kid on this trip if you didn't also believe it's worth it. So these are the other things that we're going to get to see with that extra $25, right? We have the Natural History Museum, the Edge Observatory deck, the ferry to the Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island, the Rise NY bus ride, Madden, the Wax Museum, and the New York High Line, which is very fun. So I hope that you are excited to experience all of these things. I am very excited and jazzed. So the next two big things is to check your balance, see how much you've already put into this investment in your child's experience. And then also our kiddos are going to have a meetup on February 7th. I won't be at school on Monday because I'm stuck at home with the flu. But on February 7th, I know I'll be better by then. After school, 2:45 to 3, kiddos are going to come to my classroom, room 8, and we are going to play a couple games, get to know each other, because I know a lot of the kids do know each other. And but we're going to do some activities, and then I'm going to raffle off some prizes that I picked up in New York when I went with Miss Velasco last summer. So don't miss this. I will send a reminder to your kiddo during sixth period on February 7th. But if you could know that your kiddo is going to be dismissed from school at 3, that would be really helpful. So we will not pick roommates this trip on February 7th. We are going to just kind of get to know each other a bit better and see who's going on the trip, so that when we meet, in future for rooming assignments, we can have a really great informed choice. All right. Please email me if you have questions, even if you just want to express yourself. That's why I'm here. And I know that our New York and DC trip is going to be amazing. Thank you guys. Bye.